welcome to this week's episode. Ricky, what have you been up to since I last saw you?
I went to a few different places, notably Cham. It's a new Vietnamese cafe.
It looks so good.
That's really good. I don't think there's any Vietnamese cafes in Melbourne, so
No.
they do like a banh mi plate, and we also had their broken rice.
Oh, I love broken rice.
So good. Then after that I went to In Between, which is like this specialty coffee shop near the Vic Market as well.
In Between is amazing. I'm obsessed with it.
Oh yeah, you went there as well?
Yeah. What did you get?
I got the dirty In Between, which is a double shot with a bit of cream in the middle, in the bottom, and orange zest, I think.
Oh, their Einspanner style one.
But this one's more concentrated. It's more like
really?
And it's shorter. Yeah.
True.
And my sister got the ice spanner.
I realized the whole, because I feel like the Mont Blanc coffee thing that Good Measure kicked off, I only recently realized that has been popular in Korea for a really long time. I think In Between is Korean. But
I had a massive line. I was like...
Oh, really? Did you sit inside?
No, there wasn't enough seating. But
they're so tiny.
it was really good. I'm not a huge... I know there's a big... And you like specialty drinks.
Yeah.
My sister loves it as well. But I just prefer my coffee as it is.
That's fair.
But it still tasted really good.
Yeah.
But for me, I like my traditional strong flat white or magic. Like,
Usually, I feel like I've been influenced into the fun drink thing through friends. Because I normally would be with you. And I'm like, I don't want... Especially ones that are super sweet or anything. But absolutely.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
I did a photo shoot for this I did a photo shoot for this zine that I'm working on with my friend, do you know Julia?
I know, yeah. She does the photography.
Yeah, she's a really good photographer for a lot of like hospitality clients and stuff. And we both kind of just wanted to do something that was like related to food but not client driven. So we're working on the scene and we did a shoot for it that was kind of Catholicism inspired.
Ooh.
And she found a bunch of communion wafers and had an idea to turn them into little crackers and like top them with caviar and things.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
yeah, we shot that the other day.
Oh nice.
It was fun.
Oh, that sounds super fun. So your zine, is it? Can you tell us more, or is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret. We're taking expressions of interest if people want to contribute. It's like writing, visual art, and photography are what we're accepting. And yeah, hoping to roll it out end of the year, hopefully.
I thought that's called
Mince. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds and it's gonna be print zine.
Yeah. Maybe digital eventually, but print for now.
Oh yeah, I love that. Like I think it's been a while since we had something like tangible and more independent. I think media, especially we both work in food media, it's quite consuming and very commercially driven. So to have something that's not driven by the clients.
Or like PR. That's kind of the idea, hopefully.
Awesome.
Wait, you were in Sydney too though, right?
Yeah, so I was in Sydney. My dad's got a little takeaway shop there called Succulent Chinese in Rosebery, so it's been a struggle for him. I guess a bit of a challenge because he's just started and it's takeaway only, so the lunch service I tried to help him with, we had 2 customers, so it's a bit heartbreaking to be working so long. And I don't know if anyone's in Sydney, order takeaway from my dad.
Are there people working around or anything? Who is the lunch target?
So it's in a big residential area in Rosebery. There's 800 units where the restaurant's located, and it's kind of up and coming. I think there's a Loon just opened there in Rosebery, but it's about a 15-minute walk away. So, and there's a lot of retail outlets of Inku, Zimmerman, head offices for the fashion sector. So
well, that should be good then. Have good people around you if it lifts up the whole neighborhood.
Eventually it'll be good. But I went there also for the Coca-Cola Food Mark Summit.
Yeah, how was that?
It was cool. So this is their new campaign that they're running for their directory, I think it is. Like Food Marks is basically like a landmark for food where you can get Coke. Share a moment.
That is the thing, right? Is that their like brand slogan?
Yeah. I don't know, it was very... They must have put a lot of money into it because they flew a lot of like Melbourne influencers there. Had Mel Foodie Talk, Eileen. She was fantastic. She had some tips on like how to capture the perfect content, or also like to liaise with brands, or were other people there as well, like the team from TikTok were there. And
do they have an Australian team?
They do, yeah. I think they have an office in Sydney.
True.
So yeah, it was an experience. You went to Korean barbecue.
Yeah, I did. Have you been to the new one since they've moved to the Queen Vic location?
Market.
Yeah.
No, I went to the old location though, and it's honestly one of the best Korean barbecue places.
I think so too. Yeah.
Them and Bornga.
Oh, I want to go to Bornga. I haven't been yet.
Yeah, Bornga's great.
I feel, I had to queue for a while, even on, I think it was like Wednesday or something. It was really rainy, so I was expecting to be able to show up and hopefully just like in. But I guess that was overly ambitious.
Yeah.
Waited for a long time, but I feel like it was worth the wait. Quality was just really good. Like, I think that's what sets it apart. And the space looks really nice now that it's new. I accidentally ordered a lot of food. It's actually like, I feel like quite generous servings. It was really good. And
I feel like there's a lot of Korean barbecue places that are like you can eat, but the quality is just not as good as like somewhere, and you end up spending as much money as well almost.
Yeah.
Like, I think having the proper Korean barbecue experience, the not all you can eat is. Yeah,
I think so too. How much can you really eat? Like, I feel like usually in those situations you fill up a lot faster than you are planning to.
Yeah, that whole area is like popping off.
I know.
Food wise.
Yeah, I really want to try the chibapi place.
Oh, I really want to try that as well. No, that's like next
so
to In Between.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and popped my head in and I was like, oh, what is this place? Like,
have you had chibapi before?
I have, yeah. Is it Croatian?
I think it exists a few places, like Croatia, maybe Bosnia, and somewhere else. The whole like Balkans region, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Where did you have it? Locally?
I think I just had it from the supermarket.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a place in South Melbourne. I don't know if you've been.
Oh no.
Called like Chibapi Grill, I think.
No, I haven't had that one.
Oh.
I have to give it a go.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, also you went to what's that place called? The new hot pot.
Oh yeah, YX Hot Pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really interesting. It's hot pot brand from Sydney that opened in Melbourne on Burke Street, and it's like cyberpunk themed.
Yeah,
so,
the whole interior looks really interesting.
Yeah, and it's good. You go in, you order from a QR code. There's like usual suspects like meat, thinly sliced, wagyu, fish balls, but then there's also pig's brain and chicken giblets, which I think a lot of hot pots have that, but it's...
Did you try?
I'm not game enough to try, especially that they had a picture of it and when you're ordering. Not a huge fan of offal. Is pig's brain offal?
I don't know.
Is offal have to be from...
It's the innards, but I don't know if it's neck down only or not.
I'm not sure it's considered. But anyway, whatever brains are. I've had lamb's brain before and that was delicious.
I've heard lamb's brain is good.
But I don't know, pig's brain in a hot pot didn't sound
I feel like texturally it might be a challenge. I don't know. Because I went to Odin, the new Odin restaurant that opened. And I was speaking to the chef and he was like, I think people don't like wet meat. And so they have a skewer section of the menu because he was for people who were a bit turned off by this is for them.
Grilled skewer.
So I think maybe there is a bit of a barrier for some people where it's like maybe if the pig's brain was fried or grilled it would be better, but the idea of it being stewed feels grosser for some reason.
I guess it's more slimy. The texture definitely matters because I had chicken feet soup. My dad cooked it for me when I was in Sydney and I had the soup but I couldn't deal with the skin on the thing. But I have chicken feet at yum cha because I like the way that it's been steamed and the flavour. So the cooking method definitely matters.
Yeah, for sure. Is it yum cha? Are they deep fried first?
I don't think so, but I think they cook it for longer so then it almost becomes a bit more gelatinous and soft.
Right, true.
Also, it's marinated in a lot of flavour, so whereas the soup one was
plain. Just foot flavor. People eat pig's feet too, which I always find kind of gross, but or not gross actually. It's just sad because I love pigs.
Oh yeah, true.
But maybe they're great. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's ham hock. Is that pig's feet? Or
I thought that was like the thigh. But what's trotters?
I'm not sure.
Is trotters the feet?
Yeah, I think trotters is the feet. Yeah, my dad serves that at his restaurant as well.
But I feel like if it's chopped up, it would be fine. It's just the idea of seeing it whole that's kind of freaky.
So you also went to Molly Tea?
Yeah, I did. Have you tried it before?
No, there's always been a huge line, so I've avoided that. But is there still?
Yeah, so they opened at 12:30 and I went at nearly 1. And a line formed while I was there, but it wasn't that bad when I first got there. So I feel like that's the hack, is just go early. Because they don't open in the mornings ever. I guess more of an afternoon or post-dinner kind of thing.
Do they just have the one store on Swanston
Yeah,
Street?
that's the only one. I think they've got some in Sydney now, and maybe somewhere else, some other state.
What makes it so good? I've seen Molly Tea on Instagram.
I guess I will say I haven't tried many of the other competitor brands, but what I've heard is because most of the ones that are doing that style of the loose leaf tea with the cream topping and the salty pecan top, that's crumble. It's kind of like the standard format, and I think Molly Tea is meant to be the best of all of those Chinese brands that are now launching here that do that.
Charlie Tea do that as well, right?
Charlie and Ting Tea does it.
Ting Tea.
And Camellia, which is in Chinatown, and then there's another one on Elizabeth Street. There's actually so many popping up, and I'm not familiar with the brands, but apparently a lot of them are pretty popular in China. But this one, the jasmine flavor is really strong, and I feel like it's delicate. It doesn't taste like artificial, but it's like you can taste the actual tea, and it doesn't taste like powders or syrups or anything, and I feel like that's the point of difference. Apparently they're trying to differentiate themselves from old bubble tea brands and be a bit more premium and more focused on provenance of the tea and quality and stuff like that.
Oh, that's good. I think I saw that they use A2 milk as well, which is all the Asians love.
I know. Why is A2 so popular?
I buy it because it's got the A2. It doesn't have the A1 protein, which I think is harder to digest. So the A2 protein is still natural and it's just easier on your digestion.
True. I can't really drink milk, so that's good to know. Maybe I'd tolerate better. I mean, I seem to be fine after having the Molly tea.
Maybe it's A1 protein.
Part of the reason why I went there. I was also curious to try it, but I was writing a tea article, and in doing that, I spoke to some people who do the branding for Molly Tea, the branding and marketing for Molly Tea and Tanning and Machi Machi and a couple other tea brands. They're really well versed in that scene. And were giving me some insights into Molly Tea and why it's so popular and how it has a real cult following and stuff, which I guess brings us to our episode topic about
branding and marketing and basically a whole brand experience around food and hospitality, which...
Do you want to talk a bit about what branding means to you?
Well, I guess I have worked alongside brands in hospitality for over 10 years now. I studied graphic design and digital media, which a lot of that ties into what I do, which is a lot of like brand consulting and helping businesses figure out what it means to create a brand, how do you create a brand. I really love brand philosophy and storytelling when it comes to creating a brand. Branding is a whole lot of things. The way that you look, the way that you sound, the way that you make people feel. I think over the years it's kind of evolved as well, because with social media, a brand manager now has to actually figure out how to engage with the community as well. So I think there's a lot involved, and
it feels like there's a lot of psychology in it too. It's a lot of external things, but also things that fly under the radar that the customers aren't even necessarily seeing themselves or wouldn't notice or think about. I can think of examples later.
I guess like PR as one, marketing, design, all the little moving parts, as well as we see today a lot of restaurants collaborate with other brands, and I think it's got to be meaningful, and you have to have a brand strategy in order to make it work properly. It's not just about, oh, let's do that or let's engage with this influencer. It's got to be cohesive, and you got to have to figure out what value that adds to a brand.
Definitely. And it feels like that's where a lot of people go wrong, is they don't have a strategy. They're just trying lots of different things, and it's not necessarily cohesive, and maybe some things are a waste of their time because they're not working, and it's like they don't have a clear vision of what that pathway looks like and why they'd be trying to do certain things.
Exactly. I think also brands, it's not just about when they walk in the door now these days. How do they feel when they land on your website? How do they discover you? Or what's the experience like after they died?
Completely.
So I think a good example of a brand that I really love is maybe Aesop. They're so considered in the way that for their audience, they have, when you walk past the store, you can sample their hand soap. When you walk in, it smells like Aesop. The staff there are all very softly spoken, and they wash your hands, they give you a cup of tea. And when you've purchased a product, they actually, what I've noticed, is they walk around and they hand it to you with both hands as you walk out. And also the way that they design their stores is immaculate as well. Internationally, they know that their audience loves design. So every store is a brand experience when you're walking into it. It's a beautifully designed store.
I think.
Yes.
Oh,
sorry. Last point is that they nurture their community as well. They've got this thing where it's an LGBT queer library that they do. I think once a year you go in and you get a free queer book, no strings attached. But
that's cool. It definitely feels like, I guess they obviously have consistency of the branding and the store experience and things internationally, yet they have these unique elements, it seems, like from store to store in the location that are specific to the place that they're in. And I think that is a challenge for big brands, but that some like them do a good job. It is global, but it also feels local at the same time in certain ways.
Definitely.
Is the library just here, or is that something that they do worldwide?
I'm not sure. I think they did it. I think they select particular, if it's here, they select particular branches to do it only. I think last year they had it in the QV store, whereas this year they had it in the Pran store.
Do you know anyone that's ever worked there?
Yeah, I know someone who works there.
What do they say about it?
They like it, but I'm not sure. Is it not?
No, I don't know. Not that I'm aware of. I'm just curious.
And they're queer, the people that I know that work there. So I assume that's a good place to work. But are there any brands that you particularly love?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of any that come to mind.
I love Gentle Monster.
Me too.
I think that as a sunglasses brand, they're not. The sunglasses is just a vessel for their creative expression and art direction. I feel like they're more of an art house first and foremost, but they've managed to commercialize it by selling sunglasses.
Totally. I really like brands like that as well, who incorporate different mediums. Do you know Kalina Strada, that fashion brand?
No.
It's somebody based out of America, and they already have good designs, but they had this thing on their website for a while that was a video game environment, and you could just go on and play as different characters and stuff. And things like that, having just these small playful elements or artistic elements filtered in. And I feel like we talked about this before when we were prepping for the show, but Dover Street Market, they have art installations in the store, and there's cafes, and they incorporate lifestyle elements, I guess, that make the brands kind of translate beyond just the retail experience, and it's more of a holistic, I guess.
Exactly. So people can interact with the brand a bit more when they're shopping. It's not just they have their branded coffee now. It's actually part of the store experience. And I think Mecca, which just opened in Melbourne, has the cafe inside, which I guess it's like you're fully immersed there now, and it's part of the experience, like the dining or the eating. And luxury brands have been tapping into food and life and dining culture. It
feels a bit overdue, but I feel like there's a lot of food being incorporated into fashion, bags that look like food and things like that. And then I guess the opposite of fashion being incorporated into dining experiences as well. Have you seen anyone do that particularly well?
I did see Diptyque had a little pop-up last year, I think it was, on Hardware Lane in Melbourne. I thought that was really cool. Like a little candle brand, luxury candle brand. I think that's what they do. Creating a little cafe experience. How fun. Yeah.
And I think it's mutually beneficial for both brands that are involved, the fashion and the hospitality side, because I think it can be a good way to show that you're switched on and have your finger on the pulse a bit. There's this little boutique concept shop in New York called Cafe Forgot. Have a cafe and it's just called that, but it's independent designers. They stock a few Australians, which is cool, and they're about to do a collaboration with Mission Chinese. Do you know that restaurant?
Oh yeah,
Danny Bowen.
I've seen the brand, but I'm not familiar with the.
You should check him out. He's a very fashion chef. He's an aesthetic and stuff, so it feels like a fitting collaboration. But I think things like that, it can be a good way to be people are aware of someone cool who's in a totally different space and discipline.
Yeah. The
two communities from the two different sides together.
True. I guess that's the whole point, right? I guess it's not just about the one discipline. I think is the whole experience, and it doesn't have to be just within your industry. It can move, pivot.
Yeah. Have you been to the new Mecca yet?
Oh no, I did. I walked through it, but it was quite overwhelming. So I'm not a skincare girly. Yeah. I just walked past. Sorry, I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but
I literally did the same thing. I had a lap and then immediately left because I was it's just too much.
It's very stimulating.
Yeah.
It's good for Melbourne to have, people come and visit.
I think so too. And it feels like something you would see in stores. I feel like the store experience, it's all, I guess, also part of the drive to like bring retail because so many people were shopping online for so long. And I think having good branding is a really important way to,
it's the brand experience there, like, you know, in for a facial or treatment.
I think with the Aesop thing too, like giving the tea, you wouldn't get a nice hot tea handed to you if you were shopping online. Like it's nice to have those little touches that make it worth coming in person.
What brands have we seen here in hospitality that we really like, or that we think are doing something different, something unique?
I do have one actually that came to mind. I think I forgot to put it in the notes, but Yochi.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they have really done a great job. Somehow they've just turned into this huge cult beloved brand.
Yeah.
And I guess it is again because they're like creating experience and bringing people in store and are acting as kind of a third place hub for people to hang out. I've now expanded internationally, I think, for the first time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Yochi has done such a great job. There's always big lines out the door and
bouncers.
It's fun. Oh, really?
Yeah, literally at some locations.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it does feel like a nightclub.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good like date spot, I guess, for
True.
the Gen Z.
Yeah.
Like because you can kind of choose your own adventure, which is.
And I guess they're not drinking too, so you want like a a non-bar date spot.
But yeah, because Gen Zs don't drink it.
Apparently,
I noticed that actually. Yeah.
A lot of my Gen Z friends don't actually, or they do very like rarely. I don't think they're doing drugs either. I don't think they're doing any substances.
Boring.
Except for matcha.
That's all they do. Matcha.
Snorting lines of it.
Yeah. Well, I guess matcha has taken off, and I think branding, that's a big brand thing as well, because people have favorite matcha brands, and people want to start their own matcha brands.
What is that person's name? Sunny just made one.
Sundays.
This content creator. I don't know if the brand has launched yet, but
I think so. He's selling it online, and she ships worldwide.
Really?
Apart from USA because of the tariffs.
Oh my god. No. I wonder how the matcha is.
I'm not a matcha girly.
I like it, but I don't like it super sweet. So I try and find places that have it unsweetened or low sweetener. But I do
you have a
think,
favorite matcha brand?
Well, speaking of matcha, I don't know if it's my favorite brand. I have a few favorites for different purposes, but Matcha Mate and I think they do a really good job of branding because when you look at their social feed, it's very vivid, super fun. I feel like everyone else is kind of boring in comparison, and they've really created a whole vibe around it.
I love Nimbo, Futuristic, and Matcha Mate.
Same.
So I think they've done an excellent job.
Their matcha's good. But I guess that is, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun talking about the social media side of it, but I feel like they have tried really hard to create a vision and a vibe and an aesthetic based on their socials. And I think it's interesting to see how people do that and then whether it translates to the in-store experience or not.
They definitely, you can tell that their brand is very considered and designed. So what do you reckon is the key components to craft a brand in hospitality?
I think different people do it different ways depending on their style of restaurant and who their target demographic is. But I'm thinking about a place like Hope Street, which I know everyone has their views on Hope Street, and I'm not personally a huge fan of going there, but I do think that they have created an interesting online presence that does actually translate to the venue when a lot of other places don't have that sort of cohesion, where it's kind of playful. It feels like they're in on the joke, in on the secret. They're aware of these niche cultural Melbourne things that are happening, and it creates this inner circle vibe. And people either love or hate that, but either way, I think they've done a good job.
Are they a radio station as well?
They started off as a radio station, and then I guess they moved, I don't know if they still have a station separately, but they have live broadcasting out of the venue. It
goes back to our previous point. Brands transcend, and right here in Melbourne, we see hospitality venues dabbling in a completely different industry or field. Yeah. That's still, I guess the main point of that, I guess, is that it provides something for the community that they've built. Because I think the audience and the community, or your followers, your customers, they're multifaceted now. They don't just eat dinner, they also listen to music, and they do read the newspaper, or they do a lot of different things. So.
I guess you see that play out a lot with influencers and YouTubers and things and their merch lines. Emma Chamberlain, for instance, I think a lot of YouTubers will release a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or something, but she has a coffee brand because she knows she really loves coffee, and so do her followers, and so you're creating a whole brand that fosters this community.
And Troye Sivan, for example, and Silang Yor, I think has done a great job of creating a fragrance line. And
back to Hope Street for a second. I feel like they embody that sort of branding that you had mentioned when we were talking through our show notes, because they like have like kids, I think it's their kids' drawings on the wall, and like logo is I think just like, and you like sort of straying away from typical branding and design conventions and taking more of their own approach. Because we've seen a lot of places.
I do feel like that's a really modern because I think when I used to do a bit of brand consulting, it was very rigid, creating a framework of does your brand sounds like, what's your tone of voice, who's your target audience, what's your unique selling proposition, when does your customer like think about your brand the most, is it when they're like in the shower, or is it in the AM, PM, what do they eat for breakfast, what do they eat for lunch, where do they live, how much money do they make. Like I think a lot of kind of analysis has kind of a bit more organic in a way, like the newer brands, because they just kind of, I don't know, like growing communities in a different way. I guess I
theory on this actually. I guess it's like that, the idea of like brand archetypes. I do think it's important, but I almost feel like consumers are doing that for themselves now, because I feel like everyone's like something core, or like a Pinterest board of each other, like a lot of aesthetics, and like making themselves into these molds of the same like genre of person. And so I feel like it's, and then the community is kind of that. So it's like macho Pilates girl or whatever tends to gravitate towards this brand, and so they're like, okay, it's an easy archetype, I just know who my target demographic is.
It's a great perspective. I think it does go both ways. Like the brand there for the communities, but the communities, they wouldn't exist without each other. I guess. The communities might exist without brands actually, but I feel
maybe not, because I feel like a lot of communities do form through the brands. Even like run clubs, I feel like are an interesting.
Run clubs are really big at the moment.
Yeah. And I feel like you have this community that's then brought together through, I guess, the love of the brand and the love of running, and it's like an interesting, I feel like there's different run clubs at different venues, and they all kind of have their own vibe, even though they're all running, you know, and they're all eating something, but it's like these little unique, like micro communities based on the devotion to the brand and what they're drawn to about it. I walked past this new fishbowl in the city that they've opened on Little Collins, and it was full of run club people.
They do. They do a run club, right? Fishbowl.
I didn't realize that they did, but I get
Must be it. Yeah.
But I feel like they are one of few local brands who's really like nailed their branding.
Yeah.
And the whole brand experience and vibe. Even opening overseas, I've heard like when they launched in New York, it was very clear to people that they were like Australian and like what that kind of ethos was. And I don't know if many other places exist like that there, but I think a lot of the salad shops in America are like really boring. And I guess also a bit DIY, it looks a bit hand-drawn. It's like,
Fishbowl's cool. So it's so cool. Another cool brand that I really love that I think is doing amazing things is Chibi in Collingwood. I think they have a shop in Tokyo as well. Everyone's carrying their tote bag with their branding on it because they, I guess, want to be associated with that brand. If you create a brand good enough, and you, like, I think the communities want to be part of that, like the Run Club for Fishbowl. Even like Shop Ramen have merch as well. Like, would you wear a restaurant merch? And I guess depends on which one.
I do actually own a Shop Ramen tote.
Oh yeah.
And I do wear it. I think the Chibi one, I find it interesting because I'm sort of a contrarian in this way. I don't too many people have it, so I don't want it. But I think it's also, I'm not a diehard Chibi fan, so I'd feel like a poser. But if I did really love the brands, I wear podcasters merch. I have merch from random. I have Mark Wiens, the food vlogger. I have a t-shirt from him. I am a merch fan if it's somebody who I actually like.
Oh, that's cool.
Merch. Tell us what you want to see.
I actually don't have any merch. I think one time I did buy a Seven Seeds t-shirt when I first moved to Melbourne. That's 20 years ago, and I think I just wanted to be a cool coffee person, but I don't know if that's really me.
Well, I guess, I don't know if this counts, but I'm like, you have easy stuff, right? Does that count?
Oh, true. That's kind of, I actually lost my hoodie in Sydney
when really?
Someone stole it. I was there just like drunk and
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That was just like, it was so good.
I think if it's a brand I really love, like, would definitely get around the merch. You want, I feel like, the point is, want to be part of it, like, want to, I think it comes down to as well, like, values are really important. Brand values are basically a set of rules or set of beliefs for a brand has to stand for, because I think if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything.
So true.
I guess it's more important these days because the world can get quite political, and if your brand supports particular views and values, people support views and values, so expect their brands that they follow to be part of that as well. Like, wouldn't, if I was wearing like 70s t-shirt but then realize that they were homophobic, I'll be like, but I'm not sure if they are, I don't think they are, but like just saying theoretically.
Well, that does happen. I see people have Kanye stuff. I do feel a bit like exactly. But like some, like I think chibi totes have kind of the test of time. You still see them around a lot, and it's interesting to be like what brands and merch kind of have staying power, because I think there was also a time when a lot of people had Brother Baba boot on merch. I like saw some like overseas and stuff, and I don't really see that now. The brands still exist, but I'm like the chibi totes are still everywhere, but a couple of the other ones have fallen off a little bit.
Hector's Deli has really good branding actually.
They do.
I think I have one of their totes. I guess because we work in food media, we do get a lot of like PR packages. And sometimes there's like random merch stuff in there, which is kind of fun. I do like.
Me too. But I think that this is something important to keep in mind that we probably both have strong opinions on, is like sometimes I'll get merch and I'm like, this is amazing, I'm like so gonna use this, and other times I'm like, this is just, no offense, but like trash, I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with it. It just feels wasteful, and I'm like, it feels like sometimes they just created this disposable product that's like, you know, taxing on the environment to make, that is not anything that I would actually ever buy. And it just kind of is like, what's the point?
100%. We have like way too many tote bags of like random brands that we'd never use, but
do you remember from the prosciutto event?
Oh yeah, that they gave us an Uber Eats bag. Like, I don't know, like
literally,
you
like
know,
a
a
cooler
driver.
bag. That is kind of handy. I think the cooler aspect is more handy, but then they also gave like a dry wicking like beach towel.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what happened to that. I think.
Like, what am I gonna do with like a prosciutto bread?
Exactly. Like take my.
It's like a yoga mat towel that you put over like a hot yoga class.
That would be kind of embarrassing to bring anywhere, really.
And so it's like, you need the connection, because like, what does that have anything to do with the product? Yeah,
exactly. And I think the brand touch points or products have to kind of be cohesive, be well thought out. I think went to West Home Wagyu, an event. They do really good branding actually. They have this kind of notebook, the field guide, which is a bit of a brochure, beautifully branded with
nice
their details.
Oh, I should figure out what the printer is. It'd be good for the zine.
Oh yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah. And then they also, I think, had a little bag as well, which they collaborated with Yeti or something to create.
Oh, really?
Or,
I think that's important. It's like, I know not everyone has unlimited budgets, but I still think if you have a cheap product or merch, it comes across and can cheapen the brand a bit, or just like diminish the experience.
Does branding matter? I guess it does.
Yeah. I think it does for the most part. I guess we're talking about places or times where it may not, and I think the exception is potentially places who have a really good product and already have a bit of a core following pre social media, or just like, you know, something a bit more old school, and maybe they're able to carry that with them.
I went to in Carlton a while ago, Caprica, and they didn't have a sign up the front. They didn't. Their menu was like handwritten, and I was like, "Does this place even have a brand?" Like, and it was kind of cool, like that it didn't. They moved recently, and they've got a huge Instagram following now. I'm not sure if they still have like that branding part of it, but I was like, "Oh wow, a place that doesn't really need branding."
I guess for some people, the non-branding is the branding, where they want to be a bit hidden, and it's like an if you know, you know kind of thing, and you know, like they'll leave. I guess like clues, and you know, it's like if you're switched on enough, you just find the brand on your own.
Yeah, like a speakeasy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I guess we'll go into like the whole customer experience or brand experience for a customer. Like, are there any that stand out to you, Quincy? Or
I think the thing about brand and customer experience is like what they say about design, where if it's good, it should just fly under the radar, and if it's bad, then you notice. And I think like when I go out to eat, it's usually the things that are like jarring or off-putting, or things that ruin the experience for me, that are the things I notice. Like, you know, what's the host like and how are they engaging with me, and what's the seating process like, you know, how quickly do I get my menus, how do they explain the menu, I think is an important one, you know, all these little things that make the cohesive experience, you know, how do they treat you when you're leaving the restaurant. Like, I feel like there's some places that will stand up and the maitre d' will go and open the door for you as you're leaving, and that's like a small touch that makes a huge difference. It makes me think positively about the restaurant.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know, after I go.
Definitely, huge difference. Like, I flew Jetstar like to Sydney last time, and they don't even say goodbye anymore. Like,
wow, really?
They're like, it's free. Like, you can just
go.
You can just say. I mean, you can say hello.
Yeah,
you know, like it doesn't. They're like there anyway. They're just
did they stand there still, or did it? Oh my god.
And yeah, so they stand there, and I felt like this is awkward.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it was like flying Virgin. I was like, oh, this is like so much better. Like, you know, just their demeanor is really important.
Yeah, definitely. It is kind of like funny in hospitality where sometimes it feels like you're annoying them by like asking for things.
I know, that's so stupid, right? Yeah, hospitality is supposed to be
simply in the word. Yeah.
But yeah, like staffing is very important, I think. Like, and the like staff is your brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
At a restaurant, and they definitely add to the experience. I know Entrecote and Hobber Joint, you know, we have a lot of French people come, and they kind of like fit the brand really well.
Yeah.
And they're they do add to the experience.
How much training is there to like shape, I guess, how the staff engage with customers?
It's hard because, you know, we always want to hire people with experience, but then some people don't have like much experience. But there's a little bit of training, but I don't know if there's enough. Like, I mean, I guess it goes with any hospitality venue. Hospitality is quite tight, I guess, like in terms of like training resources and people management and learning and development. I do feel like there should be more. Yeah, I feel like you can definitely tell it is good for people, obviously, to be able to get experience and to learn. And I don't hold it against people when they're like maybe a bit new to hospitality or something, but I do think that it's on the venue to like help tighten those things up. Definitely. I agree, actually.
How do you feel about, I was just reading an article about like the spiel. Essentially, like, you know, when you first sit down at a restaurant and are given the menu, and then the wait person comes over and is like, have you been here before? Let me walk you through the menu. And they were arguing that they hate that and that it can go. How do you feel about it?
I think I like the human interaction. I think we're losing a lot of that with, you know, digital media, QR codes and everything like that. And I think it has to be genuine though. Like, I think hospitality and customer experience, the spiel, if it's, you know, a lot of it's pretty much the same. Hi, have you been here before? Let me walk you through our menu. All our dishes are designed to share.
Always.
So I think, it can be a little bit like cliche, but I think it's more important that the staff portray something genuine, and if the brand has something that's different or unique, or I think it comes down to the brand itself. That's an opportunity to surprise and delight your guests, to say, you know, if they've probably heard that spiel before, let's make our spiel a little bit different, a bit more fun, like without being too, I guess, obnoxious, or if they're not a theatre restaurant, of course. Like,
totally. So you're saying like, to be dynamic and change what you're doing depending on who the customer is. Makes sense if you're busy. But I feel like that the personal touches are what make it is a very fine line, because you want attentiveness, but you don't want someone that's overbearing. It's like, you know, when someone comes to like ask if you're ready to order and you say no, and they don't come back for like 20 minutes, or, you know, people who don't fill up your water at all versus people who are hovering and filling it up constantly. Like, there's some things like,
it's a balance.
It is a balance. Is there anyone you think like does that sort of dining experience really well?
Like, I went to Ites ages ago, and like I felt like it was so beautiful. Like, felt like the staff, the front of house staff and the back of house staff worked really well together, and it was almost like a dance. But I think like staffing has changed a lot, and customer service experience has changed a lot because this was probably like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Because I've had a few friends who have dined there and it said customer service was not quite the same. And then I also, because I work in hospitality, I use the Sup app, which is you can tell when it's like staff are doing like a rock star shift. They don't normally work there. So it's harder to keep the whole that dynamic up to standard.
Yeah, I guess it's especially hard in hospitality and I guess retail when you have constantly rotating staff and it's really hard to control. Like, I feel like that's sort of the biggest variable almost when it comes to branding and like experience.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess it's like I help sometimes at Entrecooked with the phones, and it's like we have to greet the customer, bonjour, welcome to Entrecooked, like and merci, au revoir, like the little French language that everyone kind of knows or should know, or I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the tone of voice or part of the scripting, or it's the little things that add up. I don't know how we feel about Lucas Group, but you know, I think something that they do branding really well. I'll give them that. And one of the things that they, you know, have been leaders in is like their brand experience. They have like the language tutorial on their toilets system, toilet sound system. So when you're there doing a pee or whatever number you want to do, you can kind of learn, you know, some Italian or some Japanese.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that, actually.
I'm not sure if they still do it, but because I'm been to one of those or something like that. But
no, they definitely do nail that, and I guess they're large enough that they have resources to do so. I think some places fall short because maybe they're a small business and they're managing lots of stuff, and like branding is sort of the last priority.
Yeah, and I guess you know, a lot of these places are getting their staff, you know, like with social media, it's like, oh, let's get them on board. They know how to create it. So I don't know, how do you feel about getting staff to manage your socials or create social content?
I think getting them to manage socials when appropriate, and you know, there's room for them to do it properly. And they're, you know, ideally getting paid fairly for it. I think it can be good, and I think it depends on the brands. I just kind of hate when like it's just like a copy paste format and everyone's just like, this trending TikTok, like we're just gonna do this, you know, like I get it gets engagement and stuff, but I'm like, who really wants to see like I don't know. I just feel like I don't really care that much. Like, it's trying to make people invested in the staff. And I just feel like it's a bit of a reach. No offense. Like, it's not like I don't care about these people, but I'm just like...
It's like, wow, they can do the apple dance.
Yeah. Or, like, things... Like, even the dancing I think is better, but I'm like, I don't need to know, like, their personal opinions on things.
Yeah.
It sounds bad, but I'm like, if it's someone I'm invested in, if it's the owner of the brands, you know, and I'm curious to learn more about their life, then maybe. But if it's just some random person who works there, I feel like I don't really need to see that.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if that's mean.
No, that's not mean.
So, I'm like kind of embarrassed to even say that I'm going here, but there's this place, the Stolen Gem, that I'm going to tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it? Do you know about it?
I have heard about it. I think I remember they invited me a while ago, but they were like, make sure you say that this is the best view in Melbourne.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know, is that... I was like, I'm not gonna don't dictate what I should be saying, but I guess that's trying to be brand. But at first I was gonna say no because I was like looking at their branding, looking at their socials. I was like, this brand is not for me. But they only want me to post stories, not a feed post. So I was like, okay. But anyway, so I was having a look through their socials to like get a sense of the vibe, and all of their socials is staff run, like reels and stuff. But which is like fine, and there can be a time and a place for that. But I didn't get any sense of like what their actual offering is. You know, there's like barely any product photos, and I feel like sometimes it can be a distraction from just giving people the information that they need to know about what your product actually is. Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why, you know, we work in marketing because I do think it's important for staff to be involved in social media. It adds a kind of layer of authenticity, and, you know, working with restaurants, like I always try to get the venue managers or the chefs and whatever to input what they want, because at the end of the day, they're the ones running the menu. But also just, I guess, my role would be more to kind of make sure it's the key brand messages are aligned, and it's what we kind of, it's for the business and things like that. So I do things in balance, and it has to be in good taste and has to align with brand values, has to, key messages. But yeah, part of it's the engagement as well. Yeah, I guess. But what was I going to say about that? Yeah, I don't know if it's one way or the other. I think a bit of both, as long as everything is considered. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's what we keep coming back to. It's like the intention, trying to do things with purpose and not just do it because you've seen someone else adopt a trend or try some certain, brand or marketing strategy that might work for them. And then you're just like, well, I'll copy that.
Yeah.
Even if it's not specifically curated for you.
Yeah. And I think you had a good point there, like with Stolen Gems, like you actually went onto their Instagram page to see what it was like. And I think that's a brand touch point. Like if you own a business and you're reaching out to people, or if you have a brand, make sure that your website's up to date, your Instagram landing page is reflects your brand, your offering, and experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it is off-putting. I've had this happen before where I'm like trying to get in touch with a venue and I just can't reach them, and I'm like sending them messages on Instagram. They like don't have a phone number online. Maybe their hours aren't listed or they're wrong. Or I've noticed a lot of places, a lot of restaurants, Instagrams won't have the city. Like sometimes a place will pop up as a suggestion. And I'm like, I don't know if this restaurant is like in Sydney or international. Like I literally have no idea where it is because there's just no information in their bio.
Yeah, they make you dig for it.
Yeah, maybe that's their point, but like, yeah, it can, kill the customer journey.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess so. We've gone the pre dining experience. During the dining experience, like. Your brand also matters, obviously, with the customer service thing, but also like your choice of music, your
music
type of napkins, the toilets we were going to talk about. How important do you reckon is a toilet? And
very important.
Hand
soap, very. I don't know. Hand soap I am so on. Yeah. But the toilet experience, the getting to the toilet even.
Oh, yeah.
The placement of it within the restaurant.
Yeah, one of the most stressful moments. I don't know if it's stressful, but part of I think a customer's always like, where are the toilets? Because they don't want to look like an idiot walking around looking for something and going the wrong way. I feel like it's like, So having the staff member take you to the toilet would be amazing.
I had an experience recently at this coffee shop in Brunswick East, and I was trying to find the toilet, so I start walking through the back, just assuming it's back there. And then all of a sudden this staff member comes out and starts yelling at me in front of everybody. And he was like, that's employees only, you're not allowed back there. And I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing for everyone to hear me being yelled at, let alone the fact that I'm being called out for going to the bathroom.
Oh no. Name and shame, where was this?
It was, oh my god, I can't even remember what they're called right now.
It's okay, you don't have to name and shame.
Well, it was, apparently they've had issues with other customers too. I was looking through their Google reviews and they've had a few encounters.
Oh no.
So.
Yeah, that's awful. I hate being like yelled.
And then the worst thing of all was that they don't have a toilet. Which I thought was illegal, but I guess.
Yeah,
I think it's like if you're a cafe, you don't have to have one, but if you're a restaurant, you are. You do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry you had to experience that. There's like that time I was on Jetstar and I was trying to. The guy was. I don't know. Did I tell you?
No.
I told you last time. But anyway, I was. You know how when they were boarding the plane and everyone's like going through the alley, like the flight attendant was quite skinny and he was like putting his he was putting stuff in the thing. But I thought he was like moving across so I could walk past. So I like tried to walk past and he was like, just wait in front of the whole plane, like, and I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to. I thought he was making way for me to move across, like
reading the wrong body language.
Yeah, and Yeah, oh, that's quite
Oh my
embarrassing
God.
because he could have been polite about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, I was like,
Wow, that's like never want to fly Jetstar.
I know, I was like, what, they're just, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Example
But
of
yeah.
what not to do.
Exactly. Yeah, going back to toilets, do you have any like favorite toilets or favorite hand soaps experience?
Favorite?
Like,
Oof, I don't know. You go first. I'll think about it.
Harriet looks really nice.
Really?
They have like a marble scullet basin,
Cool.
and yeah,
I wanna go
I'm
so
like,
bad.
ooh, looks really good.
Yeah, I feel like I love marble
Yeah.
in a toilet. I love like a real like fabric hand towel.
Oh yeah,
That's really
Yeah.
nice.
yeah, those are a nice touch. Yeah.
Or like sometimes they'll have little like you know, hairbands or tampons or like a little lotion or like things
That
you
is
can take
thoughtful.
with you.
Yeah, that is really thoughtful. Yeah, and the hand soap, like if they've got like Le Labo, like yeah, that's good because I feel like it's great, but it's a bit overdone, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean,
But then I'm like,
it's still better than like Thank You. But no, Thank You is good too. No,
I mean,
they're
it's
all
okay.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess
Nah.
it depends on the
Thank
venue.
You
Obviously,
is
a
not
lot
a
of some places can't afford, you know, if they're not a luxury
Yeah.
venue. But one thing that I hate is if they're using like the bright pink hand soap
Oh my God, I
in an
know.
Aesop bottle. It's like just
Yeah.
it just you're just inauthentic at
Yeah.
that case. Like you don't believe in like you're an inauthentic brand. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same vibe as like the people who are just copying other people's like marketing strategies and content, or people who are like copying like with the viral drinks and stuff. People like just ingredient for ingredient like copy it. It feels like that energy.
True. Well, I feel like everyone's done the Mont Blanc now.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, true.
But I guess
yeah,
and I think there's a lot of copycats out there.
Yeah. I also wonder how many people are stealing the soap from the restaurants.
Oh yeah.
Because
I
they
wonder.
can just go in and like bring their own thing and pump it.
Exactly. I'm sure they'll have a lot of issues with that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good things you can do in toilets that make a big difference. Full-length mirrors are nice.
Yeah.
Having even like the toilet doors that like are fully ceiling to floor instead of like the ones where you can see people's feet on the other side, you know, where it's like an actual room and not like a stall.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even like the cutlery that they use in the restaurants is important. Like but
sure.
that could be quite expensive if people start stealing that
Yeah,
as well.
I think that is a thought that a lot of people would have because there's so many, especially small things.
Yeah.
So a lot of skewers that come in olives and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think there's certain things that people will cut corners on, like chairs, for instance. Sometimes people will go with a cheap chair, and it's really uncomfortable to sit in. Like the other day, I went somewhere, and it was like a chair that sort of like curved like forward in the back. So I was like sitting like, I don't know, I had to sit like really uncomfortably. It felt like something was like pushing into the middle of my back the whole time.
Oh no, that's terrible.
And they probably like, you know, it's just as simple as like sit in your chair before you buy it, see what it would be like to be a diner.
Yeah, true. And then I guess it's something. Yeah, there's some things you can kind of like cheat or not. I don't know. But then I guess it depends. Like, do you like when you sit down? Do you look at the plate and look at the bottom of the plate, or like how do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't judge people for using like IKEA stuff.
Exactly, if it's nice.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like it's more about what it looks like.
True.
You know, the design versus.
Some Anko stuff is quite nice.
Yeah, actually, I know. It's not too bad. If there's a chip in it or like a scratch in it, then maybe don't use it. But otherwise, like, I think it's fine.
True.
I do really like that when people use nice, like things that are handmade or sourced, like scavenged. That's always like a nice.
Yeah, have you been to Navi?
No, I want to go so bad.
Yeah.
I keep on having. It's a long story, but I have a friend who I've been meaning to go with for ages, and every time we book, something happens and it falls through.
Oh
so.
dang. Yeah, well, the chef there, he makes his own crockery
really?
as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Really
So does Disciple Coffee in Brunswick, who's do you know the one? It used to be, it was called like, not Temperance. It was something like that in Paran or South Yarra. It was like in the back streets. I don't know. You might know it. It's this guy who's been around for a while, but he like hams.
Oh yeah.
what do you call it? Sculpts.
Mugs.
All of his mugs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. And yeah, branding, I think, in the coffee space is absolutely incredible. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have a really good brand if you're a coffee roaster or a specialty coffee place,
Yeah.
because people are buying into that ritual. It's their daily, most of the time it's their daily ritual.
Yeah, I think Bench is good about having a brand. I also feel like
I love they're kind of like a no brand as well. Like they're very minimal,
like
black and white,
coffee
and
aesthetic.
yeah, I do love their branding. They actually had a zine that I had.
Oh,
Must have
really?
been gone. I don't have it anymore. Maybe.
Oh yeah, they do a bit of crossover with art stuff. I saw they're having like an exhibition soon.
Yeah, Nick Chen. I think he's one of the owners of Bench.
Really?
He like does a lot of photography, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like having that incorporated. Yeah, there's certain things, even like creating an environment, like making the, I guess like a big part of hospitality is like you're investing in experience. You want to escape a little bit, and anywhere that can like create that sense of vibe.
Exactly. And I remember when I first started going to Bench in the city, like it was just full of people wearing black, and I was like, wow, even the customers like fit into the brand. I was like, oh, and I was like, when I was wearing blue jeans and a white t-shirt, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to Tories now, like, or Jukes, because I don't fit into with the colour aesthetic of Bench.
Well, that is an interesting question too. It's like, how much do you feel like it matters to feel aligned with the brands that you're buying from?
I think it happens naturally sometimes, or maybe not naturally, but like I feel like the brand kind of dictates that sometimes, or the consumer does. You know, I feel like if you're going to Erewhon to get a Hailey Bieber like smoothie, you would be feeling like a natural health girl, like and wanting to be that kind of girly at that moment, right?
So you don't need to be that all the time. You can have like different ones to fulfill different.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's how I feel anyway. What are your favorite what are your favorite coffee shops or places you go to? And do you think the brand, and do you feel like you, I don't know, fit into the brand, or the brand fits into you?
I feel like with coffee, I don't know if I align as much with the branding as much as maybe other products, but I definitely think there's certain vibes. Like sometimes I want something, I think if I'm sitting in especially, I want a place that's a bit more cozy, and sometimes that really minimal fit out that a lot of coffee shops have turns me off. It doesn't turn me off, but it's like not as pleasant of an environment to sit in for a long period of time.
It's too sparse.
Like
egg coffee.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to be that like sterile.
Yeah.
Versus Tories, I guess, is a good example. It's like cozy. Yeah.
You can sit a while, couches, comfy.
Yeah. Good seating.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, like I go to Bench sometimes and they've just got standing room, but I'm like, oh, I'm here by myself and I'm just gonna stand, have my coffee
and I guess some people want, like, I feel like Patricia is one that it's like, you know, standing room mostly as well, and people go there for that vibe. It feels like that real old school, like early hipster wave of like mustache guys with like leather aprons making your coffee.
Yeah.
And like people probably just go there just for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Duke's as well.
Yeah,
Duke's
me
really
too.
good.
Actually, Duke's is a good example. I feel like they're very timeless. Like, I guess didn't really talk about that much yet, but the, like, I think it's like green maybe interiors, and like, I don't know if they've got tile, I can't remember all the details, but like whatever their design sense is feels like it's evergreen in a way.
Yeah, like they don't follow any trend or anything. It's like, this is what we are and we're going to be here forever. Which I think is important when considering a brand.
Yeah, because you see a lot where already, like when we were talking about like the millennial design sense and stuff, now it already feels dated, even though it's not that old, because some people were just like doing a very certain style that kind of, now we've moved on and it feels a bit out of touch.
Yeah. I think, you know, it's with coffee shops and like gelato shops even, like I think it's easier to, I don't know if it's easier or it's more important to have a really solid brand. Maybe both. With
like the smaller sort of styles of venues.
Smaller sort of cohesive offerings. When you're just offering the one thing.
Yeah.
I guess it works in your favor, but it
Mhm.
also like means you have to be really good at it because
Yeah.
you're now top of mind when it
True.
comes to like your category.
Being like a leader in your space. I guess, yeah, it does feel like it would be more of a struggle to develop branding as a restaurant when you do have a really varied menu. I feel like having one core product maybe also allows you to be a bit more playful with how you brand and market it. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to say
Yeah, I
why
think like
exactly.
Piccolina has done really well. Pita
Yeah.
Pico, or Gelato Messina. I feel like these gelato shops have invested in branding and they do like a lot of different collaborations.
Yeah, I guess because ice cream and gelato is really fun as well, and it's like low cost and youthful, and maybe that like lends itself more to. Because I don't know. Do you feel like bakeries have done as good of a job? I can't think of any.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love Baker Blue. Their branding's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Falco has cool branding.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they have as much of a cult following as some of these gelato shops and coffee brands.
Yeah.
They probably do, actually. I don't know.
I mean, I guess as well. Yeah. I guess with pastries, and with gelato and ice cream, you can have rotating specials. Actually, Caraton has good branding.
Caraton has really good branding.
Yeah, it's all the gelato and ice cream.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. Well, there's like some chains like food chains like Dippinets and Asian food chains.
Yeah. And some of that too, I wonder like how much of it, I mean going back to the tea shop thing, like how much of that was organic from the customers versus like the brands building it from the inside out. Because I think like coming here, I don't know how much care and attention was put into like making it specific for an Australian audience versus just capitalizing on the international following that they already have, and they're like, we know that there's people from the communities where these brands came from, who are just gonna go to it now.
Yeah, I don't know actually. But yeah, like things like sandwich shops that have really good branding have been able to scale and open up new locations because they're and or even not just a sandwich shop, like even brands like Super Normal in the city, because they've already got that set of branding. Then they've seen what works here in Melbourne, and then they just translate that brand over across to Brisbane, or like Lucas Group with Chin Chin in Geelong.
Which I guess reinforces the idea of the strategy again, because then you have this formula that works already.
Exactly. So I think it is important to have that brand strategy, those guidelines, to know what scale, what works, but also most importantly the community and who the target audience is. And the set of values.
Yeah.